23rd of the 6th, 24, after 5 PM. So tingling, belling, loud bite, bow whistles, penis up, loud bite, smash your teeth in having a break-in, said. Lots of banging, dangerous rapist. Break his ribs. Smash you in, said. Smash you up, Justin, said. Penis up, motorbike. 45 up, just having a break-in, said. Similar again, and Justin said. Being knifed. You're being ad, or gonna have him said. I didn't write that down properly. Bonus a motorbike. Justin having a break and you'd smash down your door. Said loud bite to erection. Hit cheap hole. So basically from here onwards, apart from bash him in, said there's bow whistles. There's about 50 loud bites tied to an erection to tingling back end and erection, and also banging in sequence to threats. That's happened roughly about the same, about 50 times from 5 PM to 25 past. Smash you in, said penis excited impulses to sexual impulses tied to wanking, loud bike, and then another 7 times during that process. Right, more loud bikes to erections, wanking and coming. While coming, police siren has to say, old woman, old fart. And that's while coming. Not supposed to have sexual feelers, Justin, too old, said. Right, it's just gone 8 o'clock when the threats increased. Certainly having a break-in, Justin, robbery, being shot dead, Justin, revved. That's a mix of the two. I can't remember where the second part of which was revved, but one thing was said, the second bit was revved. Shot dead, Justin said. The burning starts, so I'm going to start getting burning over me. Justin being smashed and molested Stephanie, and then the surname of that person who I've never had sex with. Busting his place, liar, child rapist said. Busting in, just said. Grey line, just said. Shot dead, just invested. Not sure what was said there, I've not written it down properly. New life said. Bonus, loud bite, shot dead, Justin, you was gonna blow the place up with diesel, said. Bow whistles. Penis up, loud bike, having a break-in next week, said. Molested Stephanie and the surname to her again. Liar said. Bonus at bike, breaking his place, diesel said. Breaking, you wanna fancy someone 39, fucking sad cunt, said. That's a new threat, and that's the highest area I've had a threat up, so I'll repeat it. Breaking in, you wanna fancy someone 39, fucking sad cunt. That was what was said, and I'm not making that up either. Being shot dead, you child molester. Bow whistles, busting in. Gun sounds, more. Justin smash his fucking head off. Justin smash him in fucking head, Scon said. You know damn well you are a total loony. Having a break-in, double break-in as well, said. Molested, and I can't say the name. And again, it's a name I've never had sex with. In actual fact, it's the worst name ever if I was to say what the name is, because it would cause trouble against people I know. But yeah, this is not something that's really said that often, but it's coming into the equation much more frequent in recent times. Gun sound, bow whistles, total loony, smash you in, Justin. Right, I've supposed to be with rotten faces now, said. Fucked up, you paedophile, said. Paedophile, just. Sadie Dando, just said. Lisa Pike attraction. You attacked her, said. Being injected with snake venom, Justin said. Whistles. Pizza faces, just. Got cruelty, just revved. That's by a car. And we got this unflushed toilet smell again. Dog barks, fucking perv, just you raped a specific person's name, which is not true. Well, it's 1:30 AM. Dog barks, child molester, fucking raped her. Breaking in, Justin said. Gunshot sound. Shot dead, Justin said. Gunshot sound. Spastic, who raped her. Alex is putting a fucking knife in you, just said. I think they might be referring to Alex Lunnis, I don't know. Just that's right, chasing and raping Grace, he said. Busting in, sick cunt. Know you want Gizmo, Lisa, Justin. Sadie Dando, Justin said. New singles, attraction, Just said. It's you that fucking raped her, said. No, it's Ricky Hux that done that. My intense burning starts with possible energy weapons. And you raped her, said. Right, basically someone has said that Justin definitely wants Helen Lewis, staff worker. Now I'm using that as a name for a girl that they're accusing me of wanting, that I can't stand the look of, basically. In the beginning of February this year, I had to stay at my dad's for 6 weeks because I was getting intense burn pains and I don't know what's causing it. But when I returned back, there was a whole load of people starting on me, giving me grief and accusing me of child rape and all the rest of it for people in my dad's area, basically, when that's not true. But they're the ones that are controlling me with doing this, whatever's causing it. If they are causing it and there's not a natural cause, then that's what's causing all the rape threats and all the fucking trouble at the moment. Come to think of it, I shouldn't actually be living at Thorn House in Youghal. But because I had eye problems, again, not knowing what the cause is, this is why I had to move to Youghal. So that's another issue. So all the problems that have occurred at Yeovil, I have a backstory to it, and I could use that as an excuse, a true excuse, by the way, for all the initial problems that have occurred in the last 3 years. Alex Lunnis wants you shot dead, said. Believe it or not, Alex Lunnis has had sex with one of the sexiest possible females you can possibly imagine, which is Amy Weston, who looks like Gabby Borges, which I've mentioned many times in the past, and Shara Weston, who's also a sexual person with very soft skin and the type that all men go for. But that specific family, they were born to be sexier than everybody else, if you get what I'm saying, and my enemies. And then that's what hinted the government to create Scooter's Night Track, because they knew how sexy she was. But that track is twisted against me, and then there was following tracks that Scooter created that were telling me that we need to stop you getting a partner and stop you getting sex, but we'll reward you with an old granny on a Zimmer frame or someone who sexually abused me as a child. So the tracks are twisted. I've mentioned this quite frequently. There are very cool names with specific wording on it. Like, there's a pop group called Girls Aloud. There's actually a Bikes Aloud van. I think it's Scooters Maria, I can't remember because I don't listen to this shit, but it says, the weather we bring down only for your pleasure. Well, there's actually a Father's for your pleasure. Fairground ride van, lorry, which occurs not that frequently, but it's quite a frequent one. It's not one that's, it's definitely one that's located in this area where they go to different places. And there's a girl band called Amy Winehouse, where there's actually a Michael Winehouse van. So they do that sort of stuff, you know, they twist the system against me in that way. I think it's Scooter's Night, I can't remember. It says, soon I'll have you moving in time. It's not my fault, just the lyrics that rhyme or something like that. Where it is applying just in time. So before you go any further, the tracks are twisted against anyone's name that's the name Justin anyway, so that just says it all. I mean, I can't remember the lyrics of these tracks because I don't listen to it, because there's a load of commercial chart rubbish that's on now, that's what I call a load of shit CDs or whatever. And he's a happy hardcore artist back in 1995 when he was producing stuff like Friends Will Be Friends record. Although Mars Pump Up the Volume, which was released in 1987, I do actually like that track, but it wasn't until later on I found out that the information content was making a bad suggestion. It says it's just dead, history, and then it says on this music, we're going to get you, government's just turned, pump up the volume. And there's other suggestions in that track as well, but it basically reveals, I mean, it's not a bad track, but because I've listened to it most of my life, but it's worth mentioning sections in that track where it doesn't actually say that, it's a suggestion it makes, And also Lady Gaga, Just Dance, says Justin is a mental case and makes a suggestion of that. And it was that exact year when that track came out is when they stepped up all this organised action against me. They set up some problems that I mentioned while walking about in the street or whatever. In the time period Just Dance was released, you had the Fathers for Justice event. So they broke the CCTV camera, parked a rent-a-kill van outside my place. The lighting system went down in the block of flats where I was. And then they added the Palace nightclub to extended nights and the Squib nightclub. But back in that time, although these people were rough and hard people, they were aware of what was going on. So it wasn't all one-sided, and that's why I'm still here today. And they found out that people were making stuff up when it came to the Stephanie and Sadie business back in that time period, which is being re-established today with modern threats from those that didn't believe the issue and have brought it down to the current day of problems. So we go back to the square one issue of the lies from back at that time, and this went on for months when you had the Fathers for Justice event, and so you had the rough hard people, but like I said, they were stopping people climbing the scaffolding that was put around my place to climb, for people to climb into the windows or whatever back in that time. So it's worth mentioning. And I messed up clairvoyant readings as well of girlfriends. 2011, fuel explosion on the M5 when a clairvoyant said 1 month before I was going to find a partner at the called Clo at North Petherton Carnival when I walked to my dad's. And it didn't occur because the M5 fuel explosion occurred the day before and it took off to Carnival on the following day. It might be worth mentioning Alex Lunnis. Although he might have had a bad history, his life's been very good. He's obviously taken heroin, he's sexed loads of sexual types of people, whatever. His life improved in 2003 when the government set the music industry against me. It's interesting that the type of person he is not the sort of person that would is not very happy. It's interesting that they caused this person to follow me wherever I moved to, like they did my ex-mugger Dan Morgan. So just wanted to mention that as well. Bacon crisps. Starts at 2:20 a.m. Right, so I've been going through intense burning, and there's extreme strong beef crisp, bacon flavour crisp. So I don't know why this is being caused, but somebody's kicking off for some reason and causing this. Penis suddenly shoots up to 9 times loud bike. Same going to the toilet, and several more times at 10 a.m. Cara's lost your life again, you child molester. Bash you in, Liam, you child molester. Lost your life again, said. My name's not Liam, but I'm mistaken as that person. Right, so Selcor times, death top my way. Black and blue sick cars. Right, I'm nearly stepping fucking sick because the government are fucking about with all this force against me. Right, penis up motorbike, right. Before that, Seagull says knife down, grab lorry, black and blue, black sexual, grey mixed with red sexual. Grey sick, black and fucking blue white, black and fucking blue white sick, black and fucking blue Christ, black and fucking blue, you mental disease bastard. They know they can get away with this, and this offends my dad if I mention the name of this specific vehicle. They do it every day now. There was a time last year when it occurred, I can't remember what it was, summer, late summer, and they suddenly stopped timing that vehicle. Although it only occurred once or whatever, but now it's every day. The government wants to make a stupid suggestion that it's not sunny. Of course it's not sunny, it's actually been cloudy today. Believe it or not, the sun hasn't actually been out. It's the 2nd of April, the 28th of May, the 20... I'm just trying to find out what the date is today. The 23rd had quite a lot of cloud as well, initially after the morning time. Black times intersection, light on time, aggressive, rugged, black evil looking down tide. Bonus of motorbike on the event set. they're getting lots of black and blue time. Bowner Motorbike time, Tesco, the van, Lance and Scott, an under pressure van, black sexual car, going to fucking kill you t-shirt, spit cough lands on my face. So the next load of setups is Penis Up Motorbike angled at me, Willie Up bike time, with baby in a man's sling, Ins and Outs van, red white car, the next motorbike, bike means van, GSF blue sexual timed at this minute in time, sneezes 4 more, like 6 Sunbelt, little Baxter van, Gold Star lorry. Birds repeating, tweeting, "You're a paedophile, Just. You're a paedophile, you raped her, Just." Now it's gone to normal sounds now. I don't want to have to put it like this, and I'm not making it up, but basically a bird is tweeting, telling me that I'm supposed to be having sex with a name of someone who sexually abused me as a child, but you know, that's what God wants, I guess. So I want to take a picture of something old, and the government need to control everybody's movement around me and put vehicles in my direction, reverse everything and twist everything. This road is about... Right, it's calmed down in the last more minute, but on this road I've known there to be 10-minute gaps without a single vehicle down here. I've been down this road roughly just under 10 minutes, and you're looking at roughly 80 to 100 vehicles on this road, which is basically near enough the maximum that I've seen on a 5-mile walk down this road, 4-mile walk down this road, sorry. Right, so I've just been in trouble. I'm actually down a track, not a road. So due to it actually being cloudy for the the 4th day since 2nd of April, it's very interesting that as soon as I make a video, which is yesterday morning, about the sun heating the room up to 31 degrees Celsius and being roughly about 24 degrees Celsius outside, that basically it was cloudy for the rest of that day, apart from the evening where it was a bit sunny, which wasn't helpful because the room went back to high temperatures again later in the day. So, like I said, they've made this fucking road busier than I've ever known it before. Right, it's a tractor with a spike in my direction. Anyway, going back to the weather, the 2nd of April, the 28th of May, yesterday, and the first section of today, it's been cloudy. So 3/4 of a day on the 2nd of April. Right, my Willie went out for a bike only. On the 28th of May, you had half a day. Yesterday you had 3/4 of a day, though it was sunny at awkward times. It was mostly cloudy when I was indoors and sunny when I went out. Today, I don't think you've had any sun, I don't think, not yet anyway, which surprises me. Right, the government are going for gold today, I take it. This bike to a tingling bumhole, the number 1 on the bike. Right, crows repeat and say fuck so-and-so and you're so-and-so. I won't say what it is because it won't cause offence or anything like that. It's a bit crooked the way it's coming out. There's a grey car and a bike with a number 1 on it. Gunning and Sons vehicle. The jungle that's gone against you on a car sticker, and sexual car my way. A sexual lady from a farmhouse, I don't know what her age is, about 30ish. She actually said alright to me as I passed. Sort of sexy, but you're not a social looking sort of sexy, sort of someone who's probably a home person, but sexy, you know, intelligent looking. Yeah, quite surprised. Most people at age 30 have got me down as a sicko because I'm in my 40s. Right, so there's been about another 50 cars and vans in the last 4 minutes. I am actually struggling to walk today because I was struggling to walk yesterday, and sitting down because I got a sore ass. And the reason I got a sore ass is because they keep putting too much fluoride or stuff that's burning the skin, and it's causing sores and itchy areas right across the body, and they've just increased the amount that they put in the water supply, meaning that this is why I can't bath. When I used to bath every single day, and I used to make sure that I bath on every single day because I used to like to feel clean, makes you feel less depressed. And when I was living at Bridgewater at West Street in Southbourne House, I was bathing there every single day. But when we came to the 2012 area, 2 years, just under 2 years before I moved to Burnham-on-Sea, I had to eliminate the baths to twice a week because they started putting fluoride in the water, which was causing this problem. When I moved to Burnham-on-Sea, the water was even worse. So it's sort of burning the skin and causing itchy bumhole and causing itchy privates or whatever. And you literally were struggling to walk. So I basically had to eliminate the baths to quick baths on a Wednesday and a longish bath on the Sunday. And then since I moved to Thorn House, Eastville, which is where I am at the moment, the water supply is even worse than that. So I'm restricted to one shower a week because I had to stop baths. I do have a shower there. I did have a shower at my old place, but I never used it. I've had to stop baths altogether because that's stopping me go anywhere. Sort of getting pain every single day, and dry skin, sort of sore skin, itchy skin, where they're putting so much crap in the water supply. But yes, I've had to put up with sore ass, and because of this, I got no choice in the matter but accept pains at the back end, because they won't do anything about the water supply, you see. When I was camping and I was washing in the stream, although I wasn't getting that problem and I could do lots of walks and the water was just pure and you're getting no sore bum or whatever, I did have another problem. About 50 ticks on me, just causing itching right across the body. And ticks are a daily thing. Going back to 2022, and even when I was only camping at Portland, I had a whole load of just itchy areas where ticks were clanging onto me. This year, the ticks started to come onto me. We've had them in January and February before now, where these ticks have been on me. But on average, there's usually one a day. On average, one a day. It depends. Not every day can it occur, and sometimes you get a couple a day. But on average, I'd probably say, if you're to look at it in the situation of the last 2 months, I'd say one every other day. But most days it's still every day. But there can be the occasion where there can be 2 or 3 days at times. So it works out as an average, one every other day. So none today, one tomorrow, none the next day, one the next day, like that, basically. Right, so we're just approaching 12:30 and the sun's come out. Right, I'm now fucking dropping stuff in the road. Look, there's the 5p I dropped. I can't fucking do anything because they're fucking packing the fucking traffic, and I tried to sort my pockets out because a dangerous plant has just ended up in my pocket, and if I put my hands in my mouth it could be dangerous. Right, there's 2 things I want to mention. Oh, God's sake. Right, just 2 seconds. Right, so firstly, I had a text from Tim Thurgood, who's basically a person who's a religious person. I won't go into much detail. I've messaged him that I've been praying to God since I was 11 years of age for a sex partner, a girlfriend. And basically what he replied, so I'll get the message up now. So if we go into my inbox, I've deleted it, shit. Basically, I text him to say that I have never had a girlfriend, obviously, and have been praying since 11 and restarted to pray in the last 4 years. And he says, nor will it be, I'll message you later and tell you why. Well, if that's the way Christians treat you, you know, he doesn't know that I've been sexually abused as a child and stopped from getting anyone, and he doesn't know about the voice sounds of animals telling me to fuck people that raped me as a child or insulting me or all that, because I've never told him this sort of stuff. So he just sees me as a regular person. He doesn't even know if I've been in a relationship properly. I haven't, that's the problem. But, you know, whatever's happened, you know, I can't tell him these sorts of things because it'd be impolite because he's a Christian person. So he looks at things a lot differently. So, you know, it's not good, is it? You know, when Christians are saying that you're not going to get anyone. So it's basically God violating me. Then, you know, we've got the voice sounds where God's saying, you've been raped as a child, never having sex, or you raped her, or you're being knife dead, or being shot dead, you're being murdered. But when I sort of in the past, I made one suggestion when I was in a mood, sort of saying that animals speak and joking. Obviously, I wasn't happy about it. And he says, yeah, well, that's God. It's God trying to communicate with you, trying to show that he loves you and all the rest of it. I didn't tell him at the time, and, you know, I sort of thought to myself, yes, but the content of what the birds are saying is beyond belief. It's malicious. I didn't go into a long story, but I'll leave it there. Right, it would be helpful if I could get some pictures today, but it seems to be a very busy road. Like I said, it's the busiest I've known this road. It's at least 10 times busier than what it usually is. I mean, it's a very quiet road. I mean, there's usually 10-minute gaps or 5-minute gaps without a car. Got to put up with an hour saying you did do Sadie repeatedly. Jennifer Justin said, I don't know whether they're referring to Gemma and got the name mixed up, but if they're referring to Gemma, believe it or not, I was speaking about Gemma when I was last in this church that I'm in now, regarding the issue that went back to April 2022, which this person pretended to be Scotty, wanted me smashed up on the railway track and knifed down on the railway track at Highbridge, but met up in Bridgewater, which was one of the more serious incidents, but not the most serious incident at that time. In that time period, the week before, someone went to smash me in violently and chased me with a knife. Then you had that Scott incident, or we pretended to be Scott. I don't know if it's connected to Kimberly Hobbs, Cox, what her surname is these days, Amanda Millis, Sally Ann Addicott, who's the other one, Amanda Millis. These are all people that don't like me, they turned against me, they hate me worse than fucking Sadie Dando, who's a relative on my mum's side of the family. Who else is there? Enya Pearce, she hates me. Dion Brooks. With Dion Brooks, she's been with, she's one of those that I couldn't go with, but she'd accept the age gap of my age back in the time of when she was going with boyfriends or whatever. But I'm just an unlucky person. These days it wouldn't be the same, because some of these people have put the age gap so tight together that you're literally forced to go with someone with only 2 years difference in age, meaning you're a sick cunt if you go with anyone under the age of 40, especially when you've been sexually abused as a child, because obviously it means you have to go with people twice the age of people that raped me as a child. I'm known as a sick cunt by people over 5 years older than the age Jesus was when he was crucified, not let alone when he was in a relationship, and a relationship when he was alive there's 20 years difference in age. So I've had my life fucked up basically. The only thing I'm ever going to be is sexually abused as a child, and that's it. People are saying you have to go with a specific girl, you know, like a newborn girl or whatever, but they're turning out as Lisa Pike, so that's the problem. Lisa Pike attraction, negative attraction. I don't take to that type, and it'll be too late anyway when that person grows up, because these sorts of people go into negative attraction when they're about 8 years of age. But, you know, there's not much you can do if people want to tell you to do that. It's my enemy's fault for fucking it up in the past, stopping me get anyone. Well, obviously I got to accept being raped in this life, and in my last life I was raped as a child. I was a girl in my last life, and Jesus was having fun with me, raping me, the guts in and out of me as a child, and I was stopped from getting sex. As a 15-year ago clairvoyant reading of my past life reveals that my previous life was very, very negative. And then I ended up working in a laboratory in my early 20s, and I never had a partner, and then I died tragically, but I wasn't actually told how I died tragically. And then obviously in this life she was expecting, saying, this life you're much entitled to anything you want. She said, you can have anything, you're entitled to anything. You know, you've got a new life, a fresh life. I'm surprised you haven't got anyone at the moment. And saying, I think she said I've got dark forces against me, stopping me get anyone. I can't remember. But she said in this life it's going to be much different. Much different, but in actual fact it went 20 times worse. It just got worse and worse and worse. And this life's going to be the same then when I'm reborn in my next life. Jesus is just going to fuck the guts in and out of me, making me feel like I've got to be enjoyed, sexually abused as a child, while getting his guts and feelings out over me, and then obviously when I'm old enough to have sex in my next life, I'm going to be played about with him in a fireplace with poker sticks, as suggested on wording on vehicles and t-shirt names since about 2022, or I'm going to be bitten by a cobra or viper or black mamba or taipan, or head bit off by a fucking crocodile, or snapping turtle taking me life hand off, and then, you know, it could be different ways I could die. But anyway, God's fallen, and this is why I'm not very happy at the moment. The outside of the church where I am actually looks nicer than I thought it ever did before. But like I said, I've only been down here twice and they were sunny days. But I can't take a picture of it because they've got scaffolding up there, replacing the top part with something. Right, penis shoots up a bicycle only in my direction 4 times. Vision van. This road's much busier, and there's people in there. Right, I forgot to, after someone says Jennifer, it's Justin, I'm thinking Gemma, meaning Gemma, someone says knife you down, you spastic. I've got to say with people about it, there's nothing I can do about it, it's just fucking hectic. It's meant to be a country lane with no cars, but you know, they always, it's like I said, they're trying to organise and rig up and cause as much havoc as they can fucking possibly put in my direction, the elite or the government or the creator God, whichever one's turned against me wants to get malicious and take my life apart. Right, so tractor with scoop in my direction to make a sick suggestion. Right, I didn't realise I was being photographed as well, and it's a rough person in the tractor. Nothing I can do about it, the creator God's fucking crooked. Just an evil fucking malicious fucking ice slicing fucking terror part. Sexual slaughter bastard. Right, now he's turned around to come in my direction. Right, so tractor with scoop my way. After that we have a shit spreader tanker. That's separate to the first one I mentioned, by the way. Beautiful granny van. Smith's van. And white sick car. It might be 1 in a million or something like that. But there's actually a lady only aged about 20-ish, something like that, that looks identical to the girl on Britain's Got Talent, who's now a woman, possibly married with children, I don't know. That's called Olivia Binfield. Well, she walked past me, she actually smiled as if I was a decent person. I was slightly shocked. So there's been a gun-looking car, and then music playing. I'm not sure what sort of music it is, but I'll give you a description in a minute. I'll sing it how it sounded like. Earning a living and enjoying plenty of sex with a tot. It basically went like that, whatever the music is. It also doesn't sound like the track that I heard or hear on a regular basis, which basically says exactly the same thing. That you're earning a living, you're in a job, and you're enjoying sex with a very sexual, smooth-skinned, sexy woman, basically. Right, it stopped. It's going to keep stopping. I'm just going to run this and hope that it occurs again, because it's going to stop playing me up. The crows both basically go, fuck, and then something else, and they say, enjoy sex with ya, and then it's lost its key, but it always does when I push record. Right, there's been about 300 cars or vehicles or whatever on this road. The maximum's on to 80. I'm not taking the same road as for direction. This is a new route, but it's the same piece of road. Bird tweets you need a brake in. White car with light on, and the road's going a bit quieter. Not perfect, but maybe I can just say what I want to say. We got this new threat that occurred last night, which is on this video. It's regarding this Sadie Dando. People are accusing me of raping Sadie Dando or whatever. Anything that's sexual that comes to Sadie Dando, need to look at Ricky Hucks. Ricky Hucks has a police officer brother called Gavin Hucks, who calls himself Gavin Hawk on Facebook. Now, I don't know what's gone on between Ricky and Sadie, but as far as I'm concerned, anything sexual with me or anyone with my surname is not connected to anything that involves sexuality with Sadie, whether it's child abuse, rape or whatever. That's all fucking made up. So that's that on that issue. The other thing I wanted to mention is Sadie Dando, believe it or not, is starting to look like Lisa Pike. But she was born differently, and to look different than Lisa Pike. If I was to describe Sadie, she was kind of smooth, soft, sort of looking, blonde hair to some extent. Until she reached about 25-ish. Lisa Pike, again, this surprises me for the type of person she is. She had a smooth, sort of soft type skin. But she's up to about 13. And then obviously she went into that sort of, her changed, she sort of looked like she was 20 years older than what her proper age was, sort of thing. I don't know how to word it. Like I said, I like her as a friend, but she's not my type. She had smoother skin, believe it or not, than that prostitute that nicknamed herself Jeanette and pretended and wanted to rob me of money so that the old people that were living at my old place could move and the new people could move in. So they wanted to scrounge some money off me. So they set up this prostitute who nicknamed herself Jeanette, but some are saying she's called Catalin. And there's nickname Mrs. White, and had a boyfriend that looks very similar to the chap that wanted to smash me out on the High Bridge railway track with a knife back at that time. With this Jeanette, she was slightly more negative looking than Lisa Pike. So when she reaches Lisa Pike's age, she's going to be very negative looking. But that's just the way some people are, and that was a setup. And there was a conversation in the corridor where I used to live saying that it was a setup by Dan. So whether he's involved with it, I don't know. I don't know if they're referring to my ex-mugger or someone that used to be there at that name. I don't know. But they're saying they're targeting me because I've got autism and they just want to start trouble on him and sexuality and take the piss. But it says I don't want to have to. The neighbour didn't want to have to warn me about it because we don't know him and all the rest of it. And in saying that, they don't really like me. But they knew what was going on. At the time, after this so-called prostitute scammed me of 800 quid nearly, I think it's 770 something, I can't remember. Well, once she had scammed me, one of the other neighbours who didn't really get on with me, which was one that's in the corridor, stopped making that gun type sound that was occurring right up until I left that place. Actual fact, when I left that place, I was getting on okay with all the neighbours. I mean, it might not be in the gun obviously, but there's a sound to make it sound like that. All the neighbours come the end. I'm not quite sure about Gary, but I think he's alright with me. I think I've seen him and he sort of wandered sort of when he passed or whatever, but I can't remember. He's someone, because some people look identical these days because they've got beards, but I did leave on a positive note, which is good news, and that's how, you know, obviously I couldn't stay there because the issue with the eye problem, but but I've left there now. I'm in the Oval. In actual fact, I can't really go back in that area because I'm being mistaken as Sir Ben. Trouble kicks off all the time. But there's many documentaries I made on this, so I'm not going to go into a long story about that. So I'll leave it there. Right, as soon as I stop the recording, bang goes about 30 vehicles passing me. And now I've got a car reversing at me. Right, so I've got a catalytic converter reversing at me, which is the second car. I didn't know this until last night, but in 1994, a week before the Glastonbury Festival took place, it got burnt down. The actual tent thing, or the building that they stage everything on, actually got burnt down, which but it's interesting because 1994 is the year for most of my music, the jungle stuff. Obviously there's quite a lot of stuff that came out in 1993 as well, but 1994 was the main year for the deep, technological, heavyweight jungle tracks up until about the month of June, July. I think it's about September 2023, somewhere around there, maybe a bit before, maybe a bit after, I can't remember, but it's in that time period. Whereas on this road there was 10 minutes, over 10 minutes I think actually, with no traffic whatsoever. However, there was this one girl racer car full of girls, teenagers, sexuals, with blonde hair and brunettes, a mixture of both, in like I think it was a sexual car, I can't remember. Although they passed me, and they were all like sexual women in the car, they were looking at me as if I was making threats as I was a sick piece of fucking shit. So at the time I was thinking to myself, yeah, setups might be down today, or the setups might be improving, or there's the possibility of getting a girlfriend and they've stopped all the traffic. And I thought, yes, that's interesting. But then I was thinking to myself, when these setups occur, it's never done to be nice. So what was causing the traffic to be 10 minutes of no traffic on the road, if not 15? I can't remember if it's 15, it's definitely 10 minutes at least, and just that one car. But why? What they didn't realise, if they were trying to sort of, it's fallen through regardless, because people under the age of 30 do not like me, because their minds are twisted to put me down as a sick cunt. But anyway, I'll leave it there, because there's some more cars ahead. There is activity that really, really fucking annoyed me going back 12 years ago or before. And it wasn't really that popular 12 years before. It goes back before that. So roughly 2008 and before that is where you were seeing boys fucking sexual girls or females, women, in fields, barns, hedge lines or stuff like that. The good news is it rarely occurs these days, but you got to take into account all this punishment that's been put in my direction in the past when I've not had sex in my whole life. You know, it's not a good suggestion. So even if it just happened once now, you know, these days, I would actually lose my temper, because the fact that I'm too old to have anyone and been sexually abused, and I'm 3 lives where Jesus Christ committed blue murder. That's what they call it. If you've been sexually abused and not had sex, it's called blue murder. And if it happens in 2 lives in a row, they keep it as the same saying as blue murder. But if it happens 3 lives in a row, there's something they use as a name, and basically it makes a suggestion that the creator Jesus Christ is a fucking sick and turned against you, basically. But I can't remember what the word is, and it's a popular word. It's not nothing special, but I'll have a yeah, if I can't remember what it is. At the end of next month, believe it or not, the 2 jungle tracks that I made, called The Edge of Darkness and The Rig, are now a decade old. The Victorian Railway track that I did is over 5 years old as well. The Haunted Shipwreck track that I did, which was is 25 years ago, believe it or not. I mean, it's 24 years ago. It's sort of a lot of traffic at the moment, so there's not that much. It's down from earlier, and when I was doing the recordings mentioning stuff earlier, I managed to do that in a time gap where just before the next car came along, so I was lucky there. The other thing I wanted to mention is the Haunted Shipwreck remix that I did in 2010 makes that track what we're in now, 2024. 2010, 14 years old. Right, so it does seem that the weather forecast, I don't know what the proper weather forecast is today actually. I didn't bother looking,
I just thought I'd get up and do what I need to do in the day. Well, obviously it's been sunny for the last hour, and it appears there's a lot of blue skies that have been around me, but it appears to be opening up a lot more, so, you know, like 30-mile spreads of it, so I don't know what the weather's going to be. Nice shaped car, timed 1940s looking grey car, and then obviously a black car, and then there's a blue car behind that. Right, so there's been an overhanging trailer trying to rip my legs off from behind. There's been a bike tying to an erection, and that's basically it. I just saw that lady who I saw earlier on, the farmhouse lady, the young lady, aged about 30, but she's very sexy for 30. She's one of those that's got that sort of skin. It's like I wouldn't say soft skin or smooth skin, but it's like, how do I put it? Not tanned, it's not hard skin, but it's a sexual type of skin. But it's a bit harder than smooth. But it's like a very sexual type of skin. I don't know how to word it. Sort of. No, I can't find a word that I can describe it with. Well, anyway, she came out this time with some buckets. She was with a bearded, rough type person, boyfriend. And she came out with her boyfriend, and they basically had a go at me, thinking that I was Savenne, and started a row. Basically, it's hard skin that's tanned, but smooth at the same time. Like a sexual sort of smooth, but not smooth, but if you get what I'm saying, hard to describe, but that's what she looked like. And then obviously the boyfriend came out in argument, started thinking I was Savenne as a bearded type person, rough type. Right, so it's been a kinky car, and time to actually bumhole boner and motorbike. The traffic's picking up again, but it's still not as heavy as what it was earlier. I have to be looked at as being fucking stupid, but the person that's doing this doesn't have a fucking clue. Thick as shit, laughing at me as well. Well, it's worth mentioning just as I got some time. Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to mention that the traffic flow on this road has picked up. There's been about 100 cars in the last several minutes, just over that. The traffic flow seems to be acting very odd on this road. 1 minute you can have 3 or 4 minute gaps with no traffic at all, and then suddenly about 100 cars. So I can't work that out. But I've walked this road for roughly 4 miles from one side to the other, and the average flow of cars is somewhere between 80 and 100 in total. So I don't know what's causing it to be busy, extremely busy, but I'll leave it there. Right, so there's been ambulance with lights and sirens. Obviously it's a hot sunny day, but it's starting to cloud over towards the Yeovil direction. I mean, it's been cloudy. It looked like it's been cloudy most of the day in the Yeovil direction. Seems to be like a 10 to 15 mile opening of blue skies where it's only affecting where I am. So it does seem to be clouding up a bit more, like it's closing in to a point where it could cloud over and become cloudy again over there. Oh, fuck's sake, Carlos. I'll let you know more if it does. Right, I'm in the other church. Two people had to leave because I had a bit of a disagreement. What happened is I was looking at a lady aged 35, and the granny she's with was aged 60 to 70, somewhere in that area. I'm not sure, it might be older, might be, roughly that sort of age. And they just had a disagreement with me because I was looking at this lady, and she's 35. Well, obviously I'm 43, coming up 44. I've not had anything in my whole life, and take into account 35 is quite an old age where someone shouldn't be moaning about just a few years difference in age. Well, I was looking at her sort of in a sort of way where she's not bad looking, because she wasn't bad looking. She had smooth skin, yeah. She was a sexual looking type, basically. for that age anyway, she was very sexy sort of looking. So yeah, so I sort of looked as if it's no problem, and she said, "Eyes off of her, you sad person," basically, and started around, and I went into a discussion and thought to myself, yeah, I said to her, "I'm 43 coming up 44, what's the problem with that?" And then she said, "Well, yeah, exactly, she's only 35. So it just went into like a discussion like that. She was a calm person, but it's more of a sort of sarcastic, sort of calm accent when she was speaking to me. And she said, "Well, eyes off of her, you know, you don't bloody," she started all this and all that and started nagging. And so I said, "Well, if you don't like it in here and you've got a problem with me being in church, get out of fucking church." So I said it like that. And obviously she said, "Come on, let's just go out there," sort of. And then the lady, aged about 35, said, "He didn't say he's got a cheek, and he? And doing sort of you, look at him in there. Yes, I tell you, so my boyfriend finds out, sort of what he's been saying, he whack him one, She started all that, 'cause she just wasn't dry and sarcastic, but, Mr. Bean, Mind the Baby Mr. Bean TV episode, or what was shown as back in the 1990s on television, where she puts the Mr. Bean puts the baby on Postman Pat's ride, puts all the 20p's in, and the ride goes on for ages and ages and ages. And the lady, when he arrives back to take the child out, the lady says, "We've been waiting here half an hour." And I said, "Thank you." And she says, "Is that right?" Well, I'd say it's similar to that accent, but slightly more tame than that, but that for accent, this 35-year-old. But anyway, they're out of church now, and I'm staying there, by the way. I'm staying there until the bus comes, so if they want to come back in, I'll film it. I just went outside to have a spit, and then a following spit, and then I accidentally spat upwards and caught my face. The reason I've done that is because I'm trying to spit in with a catalytic converter setup, and there's been times where I've been in a sort of real bad fucking mood or whatever, and it's caused me to spit differently, and getting into the habit of it is fucking annoying. But because usually I'm doing these road walks and being choked by a catalytic converter, and that's what's caused that habit to occur. But nothing you can do about it, is there? Right, so there's been an argument outside, and this person's basically threatened to fucking smash me and saying that you're only supposed to look at negative attraction. I'm going back to the spitting issue. Well, I keep spitting on my face due to a catalytic converter and fucking getting choked and getting aerated and irritated by it. When you're on a busy road. I mean, it's not that literal big spits. I mean, like sort of spits of. So, that sort of is what I'm referring to. Scraped, say, pervert. Agri van, grey, white, sick cars, and the usual flow of black and blue and whatever you want to call it cars. Right, sexual car time, 7 cars out of that car park. The road's quiet for a little while. Choked by catalytic converter setup. And now that car next to me's got to start. Black sexual car, grey, loads of black cars. Mighty, an ice cream van, Devlin's, Western, Florida, Capital 1, Capital's on, car. Sexual blue, grey, black and blue, this car, so purple poo-poo. That's a whole load of spit talking in my face and cell calls at me in the shop. Top fist swinging suggestion before I fucking walk in the shop where I'm being forced to go at the government speed of how they're fucking forcing me. Menzies lorry. There's a certain specific thing that was mentioned by this person who wanted to smash me, a knife in me wanted me knifed down on the railway track in High Bridge. I mentioned Mercedes or Menzies, and they're making that suggestion with a vehicle, and they put buggies in my direction to stop me getting photographic evidence of a corrupt setup on top of that. Right, so we've had a Menzies gunshot at home when I returned, shot down, HIV needle, said cunt, bash his teeth out, break in, bash his place up, banged, being jabbed with HIV, just said. Bash you in, just, loud bite time pooing. Too late this time, he's having a break in, said.